Welcome, Rhonda here. Today, I'm going to show you how to make these lemon Meltaway cookies. Simple and easy to do, and I think you're absolutely going to love them. The ingredient for the cookie part is 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of cornstarch, 3/4 cups of salted butter at room temperature, 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, and you're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. For the frosting part, you're going to need 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of butter at room temperature, and an additional 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Plus, we're going to need lemon zest, and I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. Let me show you how simple and easy this cookie is to get together. On a piece of parchment paper, or you can use wax paper or tin foil, I've got my fresh lemon that I've cleaned under fresh, cool running water, and I'm using a microplane just to zest the skin of the lemon. You see that? You don't want to get down into the white part because that is going to cause a lot of bitterness here in your cookie, and that's something we're definitely going to avoid. We're looking for about 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon, depending on how lemony you want your lemon Meltaways. Set this off to the side. Next, we're going to juice the lemon. I've got a juicer here that I like using, and it catches all the juice here in the bottom of your container there. If you don't have a juicer, go ahead and use a fork. You can just put your fork in there. Here, I'll do it with this one. And we're going to just stick our fork in there. We're going to loosen up that juice, and we're just going to squeeze it out. And it's that simple. Set your fresh lemon juice off to the side. In a medium mixing bowl, you're going to add all your all-purpose flour and your cornstarch with a whisk. We're going to whisk these two ingredients together until they're well combined. It's not going to take long, and that looks perfect. You can set this off to the side. In another mixing bowl, we're going to add 3/4 cups of our room temperature butter. I just slice it in half and then cut it down. It makes it a lot easier to mix. Add your powdered sugar and cream together. I like using a hand mixer, but if you'd like to use the back of a spoon to mix your butter and sugar, you may. Straight down the sides of the bowl as you go. This isn't going to take long, about 30 seconds. Now that it's looking nice and creamy, we're going to add that fresh lemon juice. But you may want to run it through a sieve before you add your fresh lemon juice. And we're going to mix this in. All right, now we're going to start adding in our all-purpose flour with the cornstarch, just a little at a time. I do about 1/4. Be sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl as you go. All right, now we can add that remaining flour and cornstarch. Now that it's looking like this, and it can be looking a little messy, we're going to divide our cookie dough in half. Eyeball cutting your cookie dough in half. I've marked my board 8 inches apart with yellow tape. I'm putting down my plastic wrap, and we're looking for 8-inch long logs with our cookie dough. So I'm going to put it on there, pick it up, and start working it out in 8-inch long logs. That looks absolutely perfect. Take your plastic wrap and just roll it up and roll the ends, and this goes in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Continue with your second to make the frosting. Add your last 1/4 cup of butter with your 3/4 cups of powdered sugar. With the back of the spoon, you can start working your butter in with your powdered sugar. Add in all that lemon zest. That's about a teaspoon. We're going to work it in until it starts looking like this. We're going to add about 1 teaspoon of that fresh lemon juice, and we're going to work that in. Take a hand mixer and beat it till it's nice and creamy for about 1 minute. Feeding it like this really breaks up the oils and that lemon zest, and it'll make it really zesty, and it'll make your frosting light and fluffy. At this point, you can go ahead and add a drop or two of yellow food coloring if you want that really yellow look, but I love the all natural look, and I love those little pieces of that lemon zest in it. But do whichever one you like best. Cover and set this off to the side. Using a large cookie sheet, I'm going to line it with parchment paper because I love the way the parchment paper makes the bottom of the cookies look. If you don't want to use the parchment paper, go ahead and use an ungreased cookie sheet. I'm unrolling our chilled dough, and see how firm that is? That's what you're looking for. And I'm going to sit it right here beside of our cookie tray. And we want to work quickly because you don't want your cookie dough coming to room temperature. With a chef's knife, I'm going to cut 1/4 inch rounds. I love using this knife. It has great leverage, gives a beautiful slice every single time. And now we're going to pick these up, and you're immediately going to put them over here on the cookie sheet. If you got a little dough coming loose around the edge, you can go ahead and use your fingers to smash it down. We're looking about 2 inches apart. And at this point, you want your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. These are off to that 350 degree preheated oven on the middle rack for the next 8 to 10 minutes or until they're golden around the edge. Use your timer and no peeking. I baked my cookies about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna let them cool here on its cookie sheet for 2 minutes before I transport them over here and cool them completely on a cooling rack. Being very gentle to move them over here to the cooling rack because you want them to cool completely because they're very fragile. I've had my cookies cooling for about 15 minutes, and I'm coming back with that frosting, and I've had it covered sitting out at room temperature. I'm gonna go in here and get a little dollop and add to the top of our cookies. Just a little bit goes a long way with that lemon zest in there, but it is absolutely gonna be fantastic. And I think I've got to give it a try right now. Wow. It just dissolves right in your mouth. That's because of that cornstarch, the combination of cornstarch and that all-purpose flour. And the zest from that frosting. No kidding. These are the best lemon Meltaway cookies I've ever had. And homemade. They just melt right on the tip of your tongue. Fantastic. I'm Deronda with Foods 101. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit that notification bell to be the first to get my new YouTube food videos. Stay safe, and I'll catch you lovely people later.